Welcome to the Tech on Toast podcast. We are the home of hospitality tech. The Tech on Toast podcast is brought to you today by our friends at Lightspeed. The holidays are here and your restaurant is buzzing, but are you ready for the rush? The festive season is make or break time for many restaurants, filled with non-stop tableside service, kitchen chaos, and complex reservations. But what if you had a secret weapon? Well, Lightspeed is that weapon. It's the ultimate point of sale and payments platform that helps your team deliver seamless service and incredible experiences. Imagine your staff taking orders and payments right to the table with Tableside, or having your front and back of house perfectly in sync during peak hours. Wouldn't that be nice? Lightspeed gives you the tools to not only survive the holidays, but truly shine, all while saving time, reducing errors, and keeping guests coming back for more. This season, let your tech do the work for you. Close the year strong with Lightspeed Restaurant.
Podcast. I presume you just didn't wake up, leave school, and start Just Tip, or did you?
Yeah, actually, times I did. I wanted to leave a tip, and it just hit me like, well, I never really trust it's going to the staff, and I'm kind of like, well, someone's got to put this together. If you push your tips correctly through a Tronc system like JustTip, the business pays no nick and the employee pays no nick. So just for context, I got one of the lowest grades in my class in entrepreneurship.
They tell similar stories of people being able to pay a bill they just couldn't get to.
I've learned they don't care about the sale, they don't care about the product. It's, are you going to be there when it goes wrong?
That's actually what it means, by the way. CEO and all that means nothing apart from the fact you're the guys.
There's nobody above you.
Yeah.
You can't escalate. Yeah. So started really young, straight out of secondary school, before I even went to college. You work hard for your money, you want to make sure it goes to the staff. Well, evidently, that's what we make sure that happens. We should see, at least 5-6K saved for the average business a year. That was like emotion. I was like, okay, I'm actually kind of doing something here that is helping people.
Welcome to the next episode of Tech on Toast podcast. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by James Fahy, co-founder of JustTip. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Just about, yeah.
Fahy. Yeah.
Fahy.
How are you, mate?
Good.
Tired. Welcome to Vorbos. Yeah, we're both tired. It's the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah,
we'll do our best to entertain you for the next 20 minutes.
But at least you're with an Irishman, a Scouser.
Yeah, you
can't.
Like, talking. The energy is high.
That's it, yeah.
Although probably in our minds we're quite tired. Look, anyway, so you're not based in London, are you? So you're travelling up and backwards and forwards, or?
Co-founder is. Secure is based here. I'm over and back. I am moving over at the end of the year.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah. Let's get to that stage of my life now.
Okay, fair enough.
Start paying rent.
Tell us a little bit about your. Tell us a little about how you got to this point, because I presume you just didn't wake up, leave school, and start JustTip, or did you?
Yeah, actually, times I did. This all started back when I was 19. Right. I was in a coffee shop. I wanted to leave a tip, and it just hit me like, well, I never really trust it's going to the staff, and I'm kind of like, well, someone's got to put this together. So December 2020, we started to piece together this. Myself and Kira had worked in hospitality. I'd done some stints in construction and summers and whatever else, but literally it was as simple as that. Started to put together idea, and then it just rolled into something that it is today. So it's come with its challenges. Smoke and mirrors is probably a big thing there. But yeah, that was it. So started really young, straight out of secondary school, before I even went to college.
That's mental.
Yeah.
And the learning must be like on a steep curve then.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was just talking to you about my book, because you're nearly as young as my son. So I was talking about my son going to his first year of uni, right? But the learning curve that you're going on must be pretty huge.
Yeah, it was always interesting, because we were just saying that. So I finished uni last year. Kira finished this year. And I'd be in lectures and they'd be talking about this, that, and the other. And I'm like, no, that's not true. So just for context, I got one of the lowest grades in my class in entrepreneurship in my course.
It just shows kids don't stay in school. Yeah.
Or do if you've got brains.
Yeah. No, but it's true, isn't it? Because I think often with business you learn on the job, right? It's very hard to learn out of. Some stuff you can learn, I suppose, systems and structure or whatever.
There's the baseline there.
Yeah.
But it's when you start dealing with shareholders, customers, stakeholders, and then it becomes an interesting old journey. It's not a linear line 100%, especially when you start as a first time founder. If I was a second time founder, or hopefully when I'm a second time founder, it should be a bit more streamlined, but I'm sure.
Got a bug of you. He's already sold this. He's on for the next one.
No, not yet.
Tell us. So people who don't know you, don't know the product. Tell us what the product does. Is your best pitch?
Yes, of course. So from a consumer point of view,
we
make sure any tip that's left or service charge in a restaurant, hotel, coffee shop goes directly to the staff. From a business point of view, we do three things. So I wanted to make it really simple, because when you're doing a cold call, and I love a good cold call, especially like how I can't say the words that people tell me on cold calls at the end of it, but on this. But we broke it down into three core letters: CAT, compliance with legislation, automation of payouts, and tax savings. So we ensure complete compliance for any tipping laws across the EU and the UK. We pay each individual employee, so you remove about a day's work at least a month for the business. And then I guess because tips are going through our Tronc scheme and whatever else, there's quite a considerable tax saving for the business.
Yeah.
So we should see, at least 5-6K saved for the average business a year.
And the legislation was early in Ireland, right? You guys went before us.
Oh, we're brilliant in Ireland, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're better at the tax over here, I have to say.
Yeah.
Much better at collecting tax, yeah.
Don't tell my accountant that. But I presume then it gave you a bit of a leg up, understanding what you were doing over in Ireland before you came over here. Or were you already here?
Yeah, we were here already, but I think the legislation in Ireland, it's definitely not as stringent as the UK.
Right.
It was like a warm-up. So yeah, no, we had the head start. It was great. I think when the changes came in here, there was just chaos. I know there's other providers that do what we do as well, and I think we all just wanted to search for clarity. Is there clarity here today? Maybe. There's definitely grey areas, but I guess people are just getting on with it now. Businesses are required to push tips directly to staff and make sure it's transparent. And okay, as a consumer, you work hard for your money, you want to make sure it goes to the staff. Well, evidently, that's what we make sure that happens. So it makes sense, the legislation. It was always going to be an interesting one when, brown envelopes was a thing for many, many, many years. And I guess...
Yeah, back in my day, mate, there was lots of brown envelopes.
Oh, but that's it. But then as an employee, you don't know what you're getting. As a consumer, we were talking about accountants, we work hard for our money. Yeah. You want to make sure you're leaving the tip for the staff. And look, there's so many decent employers out there. It's just the one or two that do the wrong thing maybe once.
It's like school, isn't it? One bad person ruins it for everyone.
Exactly.
So yeah. And when was? And do you remember the first time? How old were you when the first tip went through? First JustTip.
15th of July 2021.
You say 15?
15th of July 2021. Okay. That was our first customer, Lemon Crepe, who was a crepe shop in Dublin. I'll never forget it. Like it was my life got so much worse after it. No, but
because you had free lemon crepes, or
oh yeah,
not being funny. That sounds like a niche business.
It was definitely memorable. Now the business has just changed completely since then.
And how many of you? Because I guess you don't need to be like a massively overstaffed tech company, do you? It's quite lean, right?
I think the whole thing has been a complete learning curve. I think we've gone from a direct sales approach to just like bashing out cold calls to partnerships and integrations and ISOs and VAR relationships and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think we've had to change over the last couple of years. My shareholders are probably enjoying the learning curve.
It's probably a growing up though, isn't it? Like almost like, because it is, because your initial want to go to market is like, I'm going to go sell my product, right? Whatever it takes, I'm going to go sell it. And then all of a sudden you realize, God, this is a bit inefficient, or we're not getting the success we want.
Or someone comes to you and goes, hey, I've got X sites, 100 sites, we'd love to take your solution there. Kind of going, hold on, I've been trying to get there for the last while. And you're anyway. But yeah, no, I think it's a bit of that. Also, when you're young, my mother can definitely agree with this. I'm an impatient human being. So yeah, of course. So I just had to do it, and it's like that logic. I was touched the stove to figure out it was hot, rather than being told it was warm or hot or whatever else. So yeah, no, a couple of years of heavy learning. Now we are still learning, but in a better light.
And you mentioned other partners in the space. We won't go into who they are, but I'm guessing I find that in the categories when you've got someone forging the way or someone kind of knocking down doors doing it, it just greases the wheels for everyone, right? And it gives you the opportunity to catch up or overtake, as it would be. So has that helped you guys, having the other guys kind of move that market forward, and it's particularly in terms of awareness, I suppose?
Yeah, sure. I think the initial people that were in markets, your normal car providers, did pave the way. Tipping, it's so funny. Everyone goes, "Oh, I don't tip," but like tipping, service charges are classified as tips under legislation in the UK. Like the UK, you guys love service charges compared to Ireland. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah. I was getting a coffee with my chairman about maybe a month ago, and I went to the coffee shop, I ordered the coffee, I collected it, and I paid 12.5% service charge on it. And I'm a tipper, I always want to leave a tip for people, but it's become nearly mandatory.
I mean, obviously in the US, it is. Well, it's not. It is, but it's people's salary, right?
The stories I get. Oh yeah, we were in a restaurant and I only left a 10% tip, and they ran out asking me, what was wrong? Why didn't you leave me 30%? We get that the whole time. But yeah, come back to your point. People have to pave the way. Yeah. Tipping is an interesting one. What I do love about tipping in the UK is the word Tronc, from what I've learned, is poor box in French. It's just all this stuff. It's so funny.
Tronc has been the most mystifying thing. Yeah. Even if you work I was in operations for 25 years, right? And Tronc was always a thing that we used to hear, but no one really cared unless you were the Tronc master. The last year I've heard the word Tronc more than I care to remember. It's something that people need educating on, and it's obviously helping, or it should help the kids who work in the business.
It's the biggest tax break ever. Yeah. Like if you push your tips correctly through a Tronc system like JustTip, the business pays no nick and the employee pays no nick. So imagine getting your paycheck at the end of the month with no nick on it. Yeah. Happy days.
Well, it's happening, isn't it? And we are a very people-driven. It's always been about people in our industry. I suppose what's the best feedback you're having from like not just from your the people who sign the check and work with you guys, but the guys on the ground who are kind of being impacted?
Like overarching is always positive. I always love the negative stuff. I love figuring out what's going on. Like, why didn't you like it? And like, I think the biggest positivity piece we found is, one is transparency, but two, it's money in the pockets quicker.
Yeah.
So like in the UK previously, you're waiting 10 weeks for your funds to hit, or whatever it was. Usually it was once a quarter.
Yeah.
The legislation now says you've got to make sure the tips are pushed to your staff bank account within a month of collecting it. So collected on today must be in their accounts by next month. We do it once a week, like, so it's
but again, it's that impatience, right? And I think the generation that you're serving, if they've grown up with the iPhone in the hand, they kind of, like you just said, you expect things quick.
So I was in a coffee shop in Dublin, and the staff coined this. I'm not trying to coin it, but it was like JustTip Tuesdays, because we used to pay on Tuesday, never Wednesday. But it was like, there was like, oh yeah, we love JustTip because it's they know that's the day. It's like payroll, and they get mini little payroll each month or each week.
And that's how it works, mate. I mean, that's like viral, right? Because that's where people start talk. When you start being quoted or used as an actual phrase, it's insane because you've landed, right. It makes you a bit sticky.
I remember that because we've had a couple of tough years and had to take a lot of learning. That was like after a very, very poor week for me, as a very tough week.
Really,
that was like emotion. I was like, okay, I'm actually kind of doing something here that is helping people.
Yeah.
Do you know when you're like so you're the CEO of a company, self-proclaimed, I might add, just to make sure that's on the mic.
MD, CEO, whatever you want to call me.
But everything gets escalated to you. You're the last line of defense.
Yeah.
And I was just there like,
that's actually what it means, by the way. CEO and all that means nothing apart from the fact you're the guys.
There's nobody above you.
Yeah.
You can't escalate it. But like that,
no one's going to save you.
That moment when they were like, JustTip Tuesdays, I was like, okay, Jesus, this is actually something I'm trying to do right here.
That's I've never heard that before. Is that analogy, people using like that? Because you talk to some of the early access to wages guys, or wage stream, these kind of people, and they tell similar stories of people being able to pay a bill they just couldn't get to. And I think that's especially in this particular industry, because people, it's not the best, as we all know, it's not the best paid industry in the world. And I know all the brands are trying hard to fix that. Sure. But it is tough, right? And being able to access because it is their money, and being able to get it quick is absolutely crucial.
Get it quick and then have that same feeling in your stomach of kind of going, you know what, that actually makes sense why I got that.
Yeah.
So like Kira,
I earned that, yeah.
Yeah, but when Kira worked in a restaurant previously, before we started JustTip, like there was it was how is this tip split? Who knows? Whatever spell was used this week, like it was
we used to put them on the table and spread
it.
Back in my day, it was
it's like shuffling cards.
Yeah.
But no, it just brings that level of transparency. So that's the very biased opinion of
but we know it's happening because I've heard similar stories, right? That I know it's happening, so it's great. And what about, there must be, because we're a year on in the UK.
Yep.
Well, not nearly a year on. Was it a year?
October, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go, I was close. A year on from the tipping legislation in the UK. What kind of trends are we seeing? Anything different in the market? Is there anything interesting happening, or is it as you expected?
I think it is nearly exactly the same as Ireland.
Really?
The bigger brands are always one step ahead. They are more worried about the big PR fallout, and that makes complete sense. Honestly, small brands either tell me they don't care, or they'll figure it out as it comes along.
Really?
And exactly how it happened in Ireland, people said the same thing to me, and there was like 500 fines in the first year in Ireland because it was a fine-based system rather than tribunal back home.
That's right.
Yeah. And then people started to pick up the phone, and so it's generally like between kind of, you get the first mover straight away. The second movers are the ones probably 6 to 12 months after, and like we're starting to see it. So the tribunals and the different pieces have come out in the last couple of weeks, which you've probably seen.
Yeah.
Different brands getting, in different situations. It's leading people to kind of go, oh no.
And is that influencing the conversations then when you guys are going in to sell or to, to make people aware of the product? Are you finding that the legislation is pretty much the leading part of the conversation now compared to, I suppose, prior to that when there was more about just do the right thing?
I don't think it was ever really do the right thing. I think it was always about cost saving or legislation.
I live in a pedestal on the top.
Well, as consumers, we want to do the right thing because it's our money, but the business just want to get the money to the staff, and that's So I think the other side to this is the cost saving. Yeah. Businesses are squeezed. What's the article coming out? 25% of staff have been let go already.
Yeah.
These are mega numbers.
82,000 jobs, I think, or something I heard.
And it's disgraceful.
Yeah.
This industry props up, which is, people my age.
Yeah.
Our age.
Well, I wish, man. I had some fun.
This is an industry propping up what is probably one of the most overlooked, under-supported people in the world, and they're continuing to have to cut jobs. Where are the jobs come from?
It's frightening. I mean, it's never, and because I've been in for so long, I don't think I've ever seen, apart from the pandemic, which was obviously brutal and quick. I've never seen anything. It feels at the moment like it's on a real tipping point. There's a bit.
There's a bubble. I think it's starting to form here. You don't know what way it's going to go.
There's definite change, and some are thriving and doing really well. But there's a lot, as you say, who are in that place where costs are too hard to bear.
But that's the benefit of us. Then you come in, you say to them, right, how much are you pushing through service and tips in a month? They go, 1,000 quid. Right, you're paying 150. Just so you know that you're paying 150 quid a month for 1,000 quid. Let's get you some savings there.
Yeah.
So in that case, we'll come in 80, 90 quid and they're going to have an upside. Plus, we bolt on the legislation. So it depends who comes in and how they speak to us. If it's about legislation, we're going to tick that box to them and give them savings.
Yeah.
If it's vice versa, we're going to help them either way and also save them a bit of time.
And I'm guessing normally, right, if you're doorstepping someone, or if you're cold calling, or if you're kind of bumping into people, I'm guessing you do lead with saving, right? Because it's that's what I want to hear if I own a restaurant or I own a business.
Yeah, of course.
What are you going to do for me?
Most operators know about this legislation now. Yeah. It's much worse over here than it is back home. Much worse in terms of the severity of what can happen to your business. Yeah. And I think we're starting to see all these tribunals feed through now, and evidently, there's plenty gone to appeal now, and once they go through appeal and they probably won't get through, it becomes law. Yeah. Which means now there's more laws on top of it. So like holiday pay is a huge piece now, and how is holiday going to be tracked around Tronc if it's going through the business? I find that stuff's so complex, right? And it hasn't been touched for years. It's great. Maternity, I include maternity and all this kind of stuff as well. It becomes, and not just in the way we understand it legally, but just with tech as well. It's been really hard. I changed rota system 3 or 4 times over the years just because they couldn't track the holiday pay properly. We kept getting dummy numbers. Like we're working with a crowd at the moment, have about 1,000 staff, just trying to get that contract done. But they have like 400 or 500 agency staff. Right. So like I'm meeting with agencies now, and agencies are having a massive issue because they can't run a Tronc scheme in the sense that they're seen as the employer. Yeah. So it's like there's another agency that we spoke to, and they have 5,000 staff on it, and they're kind of going, these people can't do anything but put national insurance on it and then push it back onto the customer. So yeah, tips is definitely a minefield, and service charges. It's mad. And you've done, how old are you now, sorry? 24. So 24. I feel like I'm about 44. So you'll get there, mate. Yeah. So it's good fun on the way, by the way. I don't want to get there. Let's just slow down for a minute. No, the next 20 years is great. But like scaling a company, because you are now, you're scale. And I don't mean in terms of, a lot of people think scaling means loads of employees. It doesn't. It actually means in terms of growth, right? Business and having a run rate that people think is attractive to buy you. That must be, we talked about the learning for it before, but do you see that traction? Is it? You mentioned very quickly. Is it driving you to think, what else can I do? Yeah. It's been such a different market. When we started this, do you remember the bull market back in 2021, 22? Yeah. People were just throwing money at the company, and now it's a completely different model. It's gross profit margin, how quickly to profitability, how much cash do I have to give you until you can stop asking me for cash? Yeah. We've had a really, really good start to the year. We're going to do hundreds of % growth this year. Going into next year, we're starting to figure out, there's lots of money flowing through the business now as well, and we're helping staff and whatever else. Is it like a hockey stick approach in the way that you're going to see that? It was like this to start with, and then went down. Now it's like this. It's like broken hockey stick. Oh, stop. Yeah. Like honestly, starting this thing so young, I've taken a lot of learning. I don't think it's your age. Obviously your age has an impact at some point, but I actually think that a lot of first-time founders will go through that crap anyway, just because it's a new business, right? And you're learning things along the way. Going, I did not think that was going to happen. Yeah, or you didn't think you'd meet that person who would just. Yeah. There's some very bad people out there. Yeah, I'm sure there's some, and they will take advantage of you all day long, right? Regardless of age, doesn't matter. As a first-time founder, and again, I'm yet to figure out what a second-time founder feels like, but you're so optimistic. The same, but older. But you're starting to feel more optimistic. You're kind of going, oh yeah, you can definitely bring me to the US. So that, you have a significant amount of naivety on the back I would say, cloud of judgment. And people get excited about that kind of stuff as well, right? If you're looking for opportunities, and someone says, I can get you to America. All it takes somebody is just to go along and go, it's 20 grand to this, and you're kind of going, okay, let's get the money into your account. And so it's look, that's life. Yeah, but it is what it is. And what does it look like going down the road then? So if you're looking forward to the product and what you can, is there much more you can do with the product? You mentioned there, you're talking about holiday pay. Yeah. So we've got some really cool competitors in the market. And again, you can only just enjoy what they're doing and figure out how it can become better, because that's all it's about. I love that. It's a healthy competitor. You're like swimming behind the sharks, right? Going, I'm going to get you. But yeah, it depends who's in front. So there's a famous line my dad would always say. It's, some of them are whales and I'm only a tadpole, so if you're going to go and bite them in the arse, make sure you can swim away fast. So it's, in terms of what we're looking to do long term, we've got a really strong presence starting to grow now in the EU. Yeah. everyone says there's no tipping in the EU. I beg to differ. Us Irish going over, the Brits, everyone.
I had the owner of Big Mama Restaurant Group in this morning on the podcast, and he said exactly the same, because he also part owns Sunday, and they're involved in the checkout, right, the payment, and he was saying that actually tipping is a huge in the EU,
and it's only going to get bigger as well.
Yeah.
Why? Because businesses' margins are being squeezed and they want to pay their staff more.
Yeah.
And well, in Ireland, we feel very uncomfortable saying no to a service charge or a tip. So I just click the first one and run away. It's like awkwardness. But no, there's a huge presence starting to grow in the EU. We've just announced our first embedded tipping solution with the bank. So again, everyone's going down different routes in this market. We found a really nice angle of embedding into merchant service providers that offer just card machines or full suites. So now with MyPOS, if you leave a tip on their network, you have an opportunity to push it through JustTip and get some significant savings and whatever else. So they have like 300,000 customers across the EU.
It's not bad.
I can't wait, but I just need a break for a minute. But it's there's plenty of other banks starting to queue up. So it's a really.
I think that's the case as well, right? And often with this stuff, you just need a use case or an example or a case study, whatever, where you can kind of say, look, we've done it once, we can now replicate.
Yeah, the way I look at it is, MyPOS jumped into the sea first, and everyone's asking them, is it cold?
Yeah.
So they're hopefully going to follow. So that's the goal.
Where are MyPOS? I must be honest, I've dealt with a lot of POS companies, haven't dealt with them. Are they Irish?
No, they're Bulgarian. They got acquired by Advant last year for probably about $500 million.
Doesn't surprise me that
they're the next big challenger to Dojo.
Really?
They're just acquiring staff left, right, and centre. So, they're
going on the list.
They're going on the list. Yeah, it's an exciting firm to watch. I sometimes feel like I'm a guinea pig because I feel like we're testing stuff out for them.
You must be in a. Whilst it might be like for you, kind of exciting because you've got the ability to be agile, right? Haven't you? You don't have to worry about 50 people getting their mortgages paid this month because of you, as in team members.
Just like a couple of them.
Yeah. So, but that pressure, that I think being a founder, the worst thing is that payroll pressure. It's horrible because you are responsible for other people, which makes you grow up really quick. But I think it's quite nice that you're agile enough to say, do you know what, let's give it a go.
Yeah, like we've got 12 full-time staff. The team's at 16 apart from that. So we have got a good structure around us. What we found from going the angle we've gone is we can push a lot of the kind of chaos onto other providers. So if an issue happens in MyPOS, well, go speak with MyPOS then.
Yeah. So it's not like you're holding this big.
It's not a complete our issue, like. Look, I think that's the big thing. It is a huge part for us, though, customer service. I think there's other providers out there that do different things, not just tipping, but like we love just helping customers get it sorted, move on really quickly, and I think that's a massive part to this industry because again, if you ask for the bill and the person doesn't come back for half an hour, it's exactly the same logic. So the same staff, the pressure that's put on the staff to give the bill is exactly the same pressure they put on us. So the best way to do is either keep them updated or sort of very fast. And
I think it's one thing that a lot of tech providers don't understand about this industry selling into it, that it is emotive, that people do like
you've got their money.
Restaurant partners are looking for partners, not suppliers. So it is interesting the way you guys have to interact. And what about you two? Because so I'm going to say a name right. It's Kira. Kira's based
it's just
in
spelt
London.
The wrong way. Like it's just spelt the Irish way.
It's her fault,
it's
right?
It's like Neve and Sive.
I've just done this stuff. I met a girl called Quiver in Edinburgh who works at Hawksmoor. And I said, give me your email. And she wrote, I was like, no, your email. But she goes, that is my name. I was like,
hieroglyphics.
Wow. Yeah, how do you spell? It's weird. It's a weird spelling, but great name. But so so you're going to move over here soon?
Yeah, so like we're just traveling a lot at the moment. So like for the next couple of weeks, I'm here once a week at this stage, Bulgaria for a week. I'm in, go up to Slush if anybody wants to meet me in Slush.
How's Slush?
In Helsinki, it's like, it's as big as the Web Summit at this stage.
Right.
So it's like, it's all about tech companies evolving, growing. Like they have a pitch off there that the winner gets £1 million.
What? Get my backside there. I've got my own little tech company.
Start a company together.
Yeah.
Get the pencils out in a minute, colours.
I'll see you at Slush, everyone. Won't be on next week.
But yeah, that's really it. So it's the team will continue to grow over here. We've got a really nice business that's growing quite well in Ireland. So we have a team over there, and we've got some really cool partners starting to emerge in the EU as well.
Very cool. AI. Obviously, I can't get through an episode without talking about it. Huge impact on your product. Already in there, I imagine.
Yeah, of course it is. It's more, I think, AI is an interesting one. We're just trying to figure out where it works well. I don't know if anyone has seen the ChatGPT 5 release.
Yes.
And how underwhelming that was.
Yeah. It's just it had a purple tone to it. That's about it. Yeah.
You're kind of going like, if that was me fully integrated with that solution, I was using it for everything, you're kind of going, I've just got a worse product.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're finding use cases. It's been phenomenal for customer service solving issues because, every time you onboard a new restaurant, hotel, or whatever it is, it's the same issues over and over again.
Yes. It's that repetitive.
Yeah, of course. So you can have a bot that does that. We're looking at how we can integrate that further into sales. I've heard some so one of our newer partners, Swoopos, for example.
I know them.
Lee and the team have built some phenomenal AI tech that is all about outbound.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be game changer.
Weirdly, I just put them into a quote we're doing this week, actually, Swoopos. I hadn't heard from them, but I've just reached out to him, the same guy.
Doing really well. But again, it's just all these different angles. It's finding out where it can replace the human touch. And as you said earlier on, it is the kind of human digital side, though.
Yeah.
You can't go all the way to AI.
No.
Because
it's where we've trained people to be robots.
Yeah.
As in we've made people do boring jobs in call centers or whatever it might be. That's where it can have that massive impact, right, on repetitive. But trying to rip it out of like emotional human interaction.
The meeting I just had there, they want to meet me in person and, you know, as my dad says, look at the white of your eyes and see exactly the type of person you are. Because in sales, and I've learned this the hard way, it's not even the hard way, I've learned they don't care about the sale, they don't care about the product, it's are you going to be there when it goes wrong?
Yeah. No, 100%. And I can say from meeting you for 26 minutes, actually, that I would buy off you too. And I think it's one of the things that young founders, which is great, right? Because normally they're a bit older than you come on here. I think it's really interesting to look because you have those key elements, I'm sure Kira does as well, about you that actually just say, I'm here to stay. I'm going to do some damage in a good way.
Or bad way, you never know.
No, but I have a good friend who was a chef, right? Very quick. He was a chef. He was always a pain in the arse to work with. Much younger than me. Always very creative, but hated being in structure. Couldn't stand it. Hated being told what to do. Hated being told what to cook. And ended up leaving, building his own business, events business, and now he's working for the Welsh Government doing all kinds of crazy, but still his rebellious self, right? And I really appreciate people like that because I think without them, the world's pretty dull. And I think you're one of them. It's a pleasure to meet you. I think it's been very nice to meet you. Look, if people are listening to you and they're thinking, who is this crazy maverick? How do we get hold of him? How do they get hold of you? What's the website?
JustTip.net, justtip.co.uk, depending where you are in the world.
Okay.
We have the best Tronc, the best tipping solution in the world. Planet, a universe is about to come, so wait for the next generation. But in all honesty, come have a chat with us. Like in some cases, if you don't want to buy off us, people just ask us questions.
Yeah.
Evidently, somebody at some point will say, oh, they gave us a hand, go chat with them. Like at the end of the day, sales is about building relationships. So our big foothold in the UK we're starting to carve out is all about making sure that we're understandable, relatable, and I guess scalable in that sense as well. So,
but you know what? You've just built a really meaningful relationship the last 25 minutes. I know I've really enjoyed it. Because obviously when you do a lot of, for everyone listening, this is my fourth today. But actually been the most enjoyable. So thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your, how long, 24 hours here, then off again?
Back next week. So.
And then we'll see you all at Slush. All right.
Don't win now, let me win.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thank you.